In the last issue of Feral, the lady's house explodes into chaos as Elsie's fateful decision to open the forbidden bedroom door unleashes a horde of infected cats that ravage the house. While the lady, now infected, with her glowing red eyes desperately cries, "Bad kitties," amid the blood and the carnage. In the midst of the pandemonium, cultish murmurs of "the lady keeps us" echo from the cats, revealing just how deeply brainwashed they've become as the group's unity shatters. The chaos intensifies when the lady throws Elsie and Lord into the basement and attempts to do the same with Gigi's kittens. Then Gigi goes on the attack, clawing the lady's ankles, causing her and the kittens to tumble down the basement stairs. An act that seals their fate as the lady's body, neck now broken, blocks their only means of escape. With the final panel showing our heroes trapped and their future in jeopardy, one chilling question lingers. Can these survivors ever escape this nightmarish place? Or is their destiny sealed in the darkness of a dank basement? Let's find out. In Feral issue number 10, Tony Fleece, Trish Forstner, Tone Rodriguez, and Brad Simpson have crafted another chilling, epic issue, as things go from bad to worse as the cats face an unimaginable dilemma: starvation. Trapped in the basement with the lifeless body of the lady, Gigi and the kittens are desperate for food, and that's when Gigi suggests the unthinkable. They must eat the lady to survive. But things get even more twisted, even more grotesque than before, as this darkly comical issue progresses. Is there any escape from this nightmare, or have the cats sealed their fate by resorting to cannibalism in the desperate struggle to survive? And what's waiting for them if they finally do escape the basement? Stick around because you don't want to miss the shocking conclusion of this story arc of Feral. This issue is titled Starvation and picks up 2 days after the previous issue's harrowing events, with Elsie, Lord, Gigi, Chloe, and the kittens still trapped in the basement, their fate hanging by a thread as they face the grim aftermath of the infected chaos from the previous issue. The story opens with the kittens complaining to Gigi in desperate tones about being hungry. "I know, baby. We're all hungry. We'll get you something to eat, I promise." And she stands by that promise later in the issue in the grossest way. While Elsie, burdened by guilt for her poor decisions, suggests that everyone should try moving the lady's body once more, even as Chloe and Lord scratch relentlessly at the basement door, hoping for an escape that never materializes. Lord exclaims that they're scratching as hard as they can, but their efforts prove futile, and Gigi, along with the kittens, attempts to push the lifeless form of the lady from the door, only to be met with overwhelming physical resistance from her body. I would like to add that the lady's body has now laid in the same spot for 2 days, and Trish Forstner and Tone Rodriguez spare no detail in turning up the gross out factor here. The lady's battered and crumpled body lays amongst puddles of her own bodily fluids. Just gross. Amidst Gigi's desperate struggle to move her body, Elsie shouts, "Come on, you can do this. I know you can." Yet readers can't help but wonder why she stands by without lifting a paw to help. It just makes me shake my head in disbelief, and again reminds me why Elsie is such a frustrating character to get behind. You know, if you're so confident that we can move the body, get over here and help. As the group's frustration reaches its boiling point, Gigi explodes in a torrent of anger and despair. She cries out, "You don't know anything. You didn't know about Patch. What you did to poor Lord. And all those cats upstairs. Elsie, Jonas is dead because you... It's always your fault. You don't think. You get these ideas and you don't get to make the decisions anymore.
Boom, roasted.
This cathartic moment echoes the reader's own pent-up frustrations, me included, concerning Elsie's commitment to making the worst possible decisions at the worst possible times. It marks a turning point in Gigi's evolution as a motherly figure, determined to protect the kittens at all costs. So much so that when Elsie, giving up her role as a leader, asks what they should do next, Gigi boldly suggests the unthinkable. We have to eat the lady. And yeah, Tony Fleece is about to go where you all knew he would. This issue is absolutely nuts. Although this idea is rooted in reality and the natural behavior of cats, it shocks Elsie and prompts Chloe to flatly refuse participation. Chloe's subsequent repetition of the cult-like mantra, "The lady keeps us," exposes her deep-seated brainwashing and unwavering devotion to the cat cult, despite the obvious horror of the situation. And, well, the fact that their supposed savior is dead. As the kittens voice their distaste for the lady, Gigi interjects. Lord says there's a way out on the other side of this door. So, do we stay here and starve? To which Chloe retorts, no, the lady keeps us. While Lord offers a conflicting perspective. The lady will keep us alive. This is how she keeps us. In a moment darkly laced with humor, Lord takes the first bite. And he remarks, she doesn't taste like anything. Not bad.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that?
With Tony Fleece aiming to elicit both shock and a twisted laugh or two from readers. Elsie then questions this highly questionable decision, and for once, I can finally agree with her. But she was sick, right? Is this safe? What if she... But Elsie is drowned out as the others follow Lord's lead and begin to eat the lady. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I would assume if a person or animal is infected and then you eat them, you would also become infected. Can anyone back me up on this? Plus, this is just excellent storytelling on the part of Tony Fleece. He has single-handedly upended the traditional zombie narrative, where the zombies eat the survivors. Now the survivors are eating the zombies. And I don't know whether to be horrified or just chuckle to myself over what's happening on this page. Just as it seems their grim solution might work, the situation spirals into further chaos when the lady, now in a far worse state with green foam dripping from her mouth and her own bodily fluids spilling out everywhere, wakes up. Chloe, with misplaced excitement, shrieks, The lady has risen, I told you," as the infected woman shambles toward them with arms outstretched, prompting Lord to yell at Chloe to come to her senses. And the group flees just as the lady stumbles and falls face first into the side of a boiler, scalding her face as rabid foam mixes with steam in a grotesque display of undead violence. You know, this is off topic somewhat, but I'm now getting some slapstick vibes from this scene, and I find it hilarious in an Army of Darkness sort of way. Not long after, the lady continues to stagger, coughing while repeatedly saying bad. Chloe's loyalty remains unwavering, however, for some idiotic reason, and she insists, "The lady, she's hurt. We have to help," despite all the evidence to the contrary. The brainwashing that Chloe has experienced is second to none. It's mind-boggling. The narrative then cuts to a darkly comic scene under the basement stairs, where Gigi, seizing the moment, tells the kittens and Elsie, "I take it back. You're the leader. You're in charge now." So that leader stuff lasted about 3 pages. Just before the lady reappears, grabs Elsie by the neck and forces a recovery collar on her with a shrill, "Bad kitty," and proceeds to load all the cats, Elsie, Gigi, the kittens, Lord, and even Chloe, into pet carriers, A grim image for sure, underscored by the vivid detail of blood running down her fingers. As the color work from Brad Simpson makes the gore pop off the page, just that much more. The lady then climbs the basement stairs with the carriers, and as she approaches the door, Gigi warns the kittens to close their eyes, anticipating the carnage beyond. It was at this point that I thought the lady was about to get knocked back down the stairs. But the lady opens the door and solemnly declares, "Bad kitties get the crate," revealing a strangely calm yet eerie scene upstairs, where the remnants of chaos, blood on the walls, entrails, and scattered cat parts linger ominously. In a moment of heart-wrenching despair, Gigi questions if Elsie is in another cat crate, and a horrified Elsie, unable to turn her head because of the recovery collar she's wearing, is forced to look at the results of her bad decisions and confront the consequences of her actions when she sees a cat paw ripped from its owner, along with all sorts of other violence and gore lying about. This scene is powerful to say the least. Elsie has to finally deal both physically and emotionally with her horrible decision to open the lady's bedroom door. And as a reader, I was also satisfied that Elsie was forced to do this. Elsie is then seen muttering, "This is my fault," confirming she might actually understand the stakes now. Finally, the lady loads the cats into her car while scalding them. "Give you a good home, give you food, shelter, and this is how you," before driving off erratically into the night, declaring, "Bad kitties get surrendered. Bad kitties go to animal control." In a surreal, almost cinematic twist reminiscent of the first issue's chaos, the lady nearly collides with a truck before swerving around a turn, only to encounter a familiar sight. A fully rabid Patch caked with green saliva and blood standing in the middle of the road. Patch is back, and he's still alive. But this forces her to swerve again, leading to an homage of the animal control van crash from issue number 1, when her car smashes through the guardrails and flies off a cliff, coming to rest upside down amid the road below. The comic ends with a lone voice, echoing from inside the car, simply asking, "Patch?" leaving readers with another chilling but intriguing cliffhanger ending. Ultimately, this is the grossest issue yet, filled with dark comedy, shock, and grotesque violence, where the act of eating the lady to survive and the cat's macabre ritual of self-destruction is as horrifying as it is darkly funny. A masterful example of Tony Fleece's storytelling that interweaves distinct tonal shifts without sacrificing the interconnected narrative of these comics, and sets the stage for a world of opportunities and future issues. Who knows where these survivors will go next after escaping the woods and the lady's house. As Feral issue number 10 comes to a close, and this story arc concludes, we're left with a haunting set of possibilities for our core group of characters. What will become of these shattered lives now that their sanctuary has been so brutally violated, by Elsie no less? Who survived and who didn't survive the car crash? Will the dark secrets of the infection finally unravel? Or will new, even more sinister forces rise to claim their place? These questions are a grim invitation to explore what lies ahead in the pages of Feral's future issues. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share your predictions in the comments below. Thanks for watching Comic Drops, and I'll see you in the next one.